my channel. I'm just a girl who likes reading romance, fantasy romance, paranormal romance, any kind of genre of romance in general. And I also happen to have cerebral palsy, and it would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to my channel. Happy Thursday! I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Today is a special case because it's a collaboration with Beccie from Beccie Reads and a few other booktubers. I'll leave their channels in the description down below so you can check their recommendations out. Today is a disability rep in romance recommendation video, so please go check their videos out. Also, if you want to know more about cerebral palsy, I did a disability tag video and I talked all about my cerebral palsy in that video, so I'll link that video in the description as well. Let's get started with the recommendations. Out on a Limb by Hannah Bottom Young. I have talked about this book multiple times on my channel, but we follow Ren and Bo, and they meet at a Halloween party, and they both dress as pirates to highlight their limb differences. Bo is an amputee, and Ren has a less developed hand. And that's how they meet. They have this one night stand, and the heroine finds out she is pregnant. And their romance goes from there. She tells Bo that she's pregnant. They both decide they want to be equal participants in their baby's life, and they move in together because the heroine's apartment is not accessible for her disability or her pregnancy. So Bo, our hero, asks her to move in with him. And it was so sweet and so adorable. I love this book. If you haven't read this book yet, I suggest you check it out. Forbidden Hearts by Corinne Michaels. I have also talked about this book a lot on my channel, but the reason why I am recommending this is a single dad nanny romance, but the daughter in here is deaf. She uses sign language to communicate. I think the daughter is 11 years old. Asher's daughter's mother leaves her with her dad for the summer because she has to go film a documentary, and Asher's babysitters that he had lined up quit the agency. Now he has to find someone else. His boss, because he's the sheriff and Asher is the sheriff in town, his boss suggests Phoebe, his daughter, because she is studying to be a speech pathologist and she knows sign language. And Asher takes him up reluctantly on his offer because he has no one to watch his daughter. He has no one that knows sign language. So Phoebe and Asher get thrown together because of his daughter, and she moves into Asher's house, and Phoebe and Asher have this attraction that they try to deny because she's the nanny, but she's also his boss's daughter, so she's off limits but their attraction to each other is hard to deny, and it's their romance, and I loved it. Corinne Michaels can be a hit or miss author for me, but I really like this book. Also, it's its own voices, because Corinne Michaels' daughter is deaf, and this book inspired her daughter, inspired the daughter character in the book, because Corinne Michaels' daughter in real life is hard of hearing. Next we have Rush by Emma Scott. We follow Noah, who is an adrenaline junkie. Today he takes his adrenaline seeking too far, and he loses his sight, and he's basically blind. And Charlotte, who is a violinist, who is in Juilliard, but one day she gets a call from her parents that a tragedy happened at her home. Her younger brother passes away, and circumstances lead to Charlotte being Noah's assistant. I love this book. It's Grumpy Sunshine Boss employee, and I loved it because Noah had to really accept the fact that he's blind and he could no longer do the things that he used to do, but there are other opportunities for him, and Noah just had to see that. But I loved seeing how Noah had to learn to accept his life now, and learning that even though he has a disability now, that doesn't mean his quality of life can be lesser than he was living before. And I loved it, and I loved that how Charlotte helped him see that, and how Noah pushed Charlotte to go after her dreams about becoming a violinist again. I just love their romance, period. I love this book. It Ain't Me, Babe, but by Tilly Cole. We follow River. In the epilogue, we have River, who has a stutter, so he uses sign language a lot because he doesn't like talking in front of people. But then he sees this girl in the woods, and then they never see each other. They are 11 and 8 years old. 15 years have passed since that day in the woods, and River is the MC gang, my motorcycle club, and the girl has escaped from a cult, and she runs away to River's MC club, and he knows that it's her because she never forgot the color of her eyes, and she knows it's him because of the way he used to stutter around her. She remembers that. So it's their romance, and it's them trying to take down the cult she was from, and them trying to free the other people in the cult. Please be warned, this is a dark romance, so please check your trigger warnings because it is dark. I call him River. His MC name is Styx, but I just like how they portrayed his stutter, and that it didn't need to be a big deal just because he had a very bad stuttering issue. But I like that he was comfortable enough to talk around her. Around everybody else, he uses sign language, but around her, he tries to talk to her, and she doesn't mind that he has a stutter. A Heart of Blood and Ashes by Mila Vane. It's an enemies to lovers romance, marriage of convenience. The hero thinks the heroine, our heroine's name is Yvonne, thinks that the heroine has something to do with his parents' death, and the heroine Yvonne said, "No, I had nothing to do with it. It's my father," and she proposes a plan that they get married and take her father's throne. Yvonne walks with a limp and she has a missing finger. That's why I put this book in here, because she walks with a limp. And I just love how Yvonne was so strong. I really related to her about her disability, about walking with a limp. I'm also going to say something about cerebral palsy. Most cerebral people with cerebral palsy, if they're in a wheelchair, but they can take steps, but their legs, they don't walk straight. You walk with a bent leg, mostly, at least for me, and that's why I really related to Yvonne. In the Weeds by B.K. Borson. I put this book in here because our hero Beckett is neurodivergent. He's part of the spectrum, and he has a romance with a social media manager because she wants to break from his job, and she comes back to Love Light Farms, and they had a one-night stand, but she ghosts him. So she comes back, and she ends up living with Beckett, and it's their romance. And I also recommend this book because not only is Beckett neurodivergent, his dad is in a wheelchair because his dad suffered a spinal injury while he was at work. And my favorite part about this book is how Beckett and his dad have conversations. And if you love Ren Bergman, you will love Beckett. Is Last Guard by Nalini Singh. It's book 22 in a series of The Side Changeling, but I'm recommending this book because our hero is in a wheelchair and he has a spinal injury, and you have to read. I really can't say much about this book because that will spoil the series, but know that in this book the hero is in a wheelchair because of a spinal injury, and the way they describe the wheelchair in this book, I find it really cool. Actually, I have one more book to recommend. It's Painted Scars by Neva. Here we follow this Brafa boss mafia guy. He gets into his car, there's an explosion, and he suffered a spinal injury and he's in a wheelchair. And his companions convinced him to enter into an arranged marriage to make himself look strong. And this guy who owes him a lot of debt, he has a daughter named Nina, and he forces Nina to basically marry him, and it's their romance. And I loved it. It was really unique. I've never seen a mafia boss in a wheelchair before, so that's why I liked it. Those are all my recommendations for disability rep and romance. Please, I'll link the other Booktubers channel down below. Please check their videos out. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. That would mean the world to me. And I'll see ya Monday. Bye.